Hey guys, let's continue with the U.S.-China relationship. Last time, actually, I made a proposal like two things. Number one, I believe that in both countries, the leaders have made wrong attributions to the success of China economy. On the Chinese part, Beijing, obviously they made a wrong attribution. They emphasize in the party leadership. They attribute all the success of China's economy to the party leadership, when in fact the party leadership is important, but definitely not everything that we're talking about. Okay, so that's one thing. On the American side, we have quite a few American politicians would blame China as stealing and cheating, and then they attribute everything that China's success at the U.S. loss, when in fact that it's not that extreme. Okay, China, the Chinese work their shirts off literally. No, hardly no other country people worked so hard, as hard as the Chinese. Okay, so this is both sides didn't get it right. If you really want to stay objective, stay neutral, then we have to say that back then, China's entry into WTO is very important. It opens the door for the China's growth. However, on the other hand, we also need the Chinese diligence, smart, um, you know, trying hard, nonstop. This kind of thing that's more comprehensive, more neutral, more balanced view. This. But last time I also made another point of I used the metaphor of building an IV. I said the Chinese figure out a way, learn the lesson from Soviet Union. They acted like IV attached to the U.S. building. Okay, also made a point that that does not mean they are totally stealing. They are just reduced casualty because in the battlefield, if you are separated from your enemies, the air force, the missiles will hit you hard. But if you stay with them closely in a short distance, in arm's distance, then you're much safer. Okay. So now here, let's talk about another thing. We have a perfect example. Uh, I guess everybody's aware of that. It's called a DeepSeek. Okay, there is one AI that from China that's called DeepSeek. They said now, if you haven't used that, I strongly recommend you use that. To download it because it will be most likely will be free at least for now, and then maybe who knows that the Trump administration may ban it or something because we already heard that the U.S. Navy already says they're going to ban the use of DeepSeek. Okay. So I won't be surprised if the other people, other department will do the same. But at least they're the government. They they are unlike the private citizens. So you may still have some thing. There are several things about the DeepSeek. The first one is that I guess not many people have noticed that DeepSeek is actually funded, launched by a hedge fund in China. That I was smiling when I read the news. I said, okay, how many hedge fund in the U.S. will do this? Because hedge fund typically just a pure financial operation. But that's actually is a good sign that shows that the Chinese how everybody is looking for something. Okay, and everybody is thinking about doing something, manufacturing something, and so even including hedge funds. So hedge fund in China is not just the pure financial operation, but could be related to manufacturing. Okay. The second point that I want to say about the DeepSeek is that I'm glad to see that there's some real innovation behind. Now we hear that Sam Altman, OpenAI, is gonna accusing DeepSeek as breaching the user's contract, user's agreement. We don't know the details yet, but it's ongoing. Obviously, the user agreement with OpenAI is that you can use it just like we're watching a movie. If you watch a movie for your private usage, fine, but not use that commercially. So if that's the case, I would think Sam Altman has a good cause to sue or to even pursue something else, like even work with the U.S. government, saying that to ban this DeepSeek from the U.S. Market. Although that would be based on the initial evaluation, initial responses that are online users, they always they already uh, laughing at OpenAI is saying that how many uh, violation or copyright violation you guys have, stealing people, stealing data without telling them. Now you're saying that the DeepSeek is doing the same thing. How ridiculous! One guy was saying that you have zero moral authority to to blame the DeepSeek. Obviously that's just the users, just like a moral, that's like a social code, right? It's not a legal code. We have to listen to that. In my personal opinion, I would think that if there is a very clear term and agreement that the DeepSeek may be violated, I would think that they should pay some fines or to settle this. Okay, but there's no doubt that the DeepSeek has some real value, real breakthrough innovations. Okay, there's no denying of that. And some people even use the title say they they smash the AI bubbles. Okay, because before that, the people always think there's no other way, except to buy a lot of chips from NVIDIA. NVIDIA would be very happy because they can sell. They are the one, like you think you're digging the gold. They are the one selling you the shovel, so to help you. So it's the shovel maker that makes a real fortune. The gold diggers really ended up broke. Okay, so that's a very good thing. But right now, the DeepSeek basically tells us you don't have to 100% relying on the hardware, the chips. There are better algorithm that make better AI tools without relying on too much hardware, too many chips, and we can still doing we can achieve the same thing. So that's the benefit of this thing. So in that sense, DeepSeek is like like the baby telling that the emperors that didn't wear anything. Remember the emperor's clothes? That one baby found out that because other people can cheat, say, "Hey, emperor, you look so beautiful. The clothes looked on you the perfect." But the baby says, "No, this guy's not wearing anything." So that's the same thing. Like right now, before DeepSeek, we will have like the myth, like saying that if you want to good AI, you must spend money. I remember one time that Sam Elton in a forum, he was answering a question like Indian VC. He is saying that if your budget is anything less than $10 million, don't even think about it. Okay, so make like a formula saying that it's totally capital intensive, and there's no other way out. But Chinese break this, so that's we all I think we all should appreciate it for that. Okay, they found out they had a baby crying that the emperor is not wearing anything. Okay, so that's kind of so let's stop here.